What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to SSBB Esport. You are joining us. It is round 7 of season 2, and man, we've got a hectic evening lined up for everybody. I think we are 13 or 14. Sorry, we have 14 drivers on the grid tonight. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be manic, and we've got an extra special endurance race lined up tonight. So hold on to your seatbelts and get yourself comfortable, because this is going to be pretty wild. Currently, we're looking at the practice, and we're about to jump into qualifying. But before we do that, let's just run through the points after Alsace, the last event. So, if we look at the points, these are the overall standings. Now, these points are preliminary. The reason for that is there are some pit stops that are in review. So, as it stands, Venture 26 is leading the overall championship, Season 2 championship, with 350 points. David A, the Class B driver, is second with 308 points. Denz, also Class B driver, third in 308 points. Death Raccoon 777 is fourth with 302. Alex fifth with 286. Jedi sixth with 280. Brendan Scott McFlurry, Class A driver, he is 7th with 274, tied with L1 with a Class B driver, 274. And 9th is Safalicious with 243, and rounding up the top 10 is Jay Adders with 211. That's a great result for Adders, because he battled to get into the top 10 last year. Let's look at the Category 1 overall points after Alsace. Leading the Category 1, that's the E30 M3 championship, is the Class A driver Coyote Venture 26 with 88 points. Second is David A, Class B driver, with 77 points. Third is Alex Wilmot with 75. Fourth is Death Raccoon with 71. Fifth is Denz with 70. It's very, very close up there. Sixth is McFlurry Twist with 68 points. 7th is L, Class B driver, with 63 points. 8th is Safalicious with 60. 9th is Jedi Jonah with 57. 10th is good old Golfy with 56 points. Looking at the Category 2, the Category 2 section of the championship, leading the championship is Death Raccoon, Class A driver, with 314 points. Second is David A, again Class B driver, with 81 points. He's super consistent this season. Third is Jedi Jonah with 76 points. Fourth is L with 73. Venture 26 is fifth with 70. Sixth is Alex with 67, tied with Denz with 67. 8th is McFlurry with 57. 9th is Adders with 55. Great work there. These are the M4s. 10th is Golf Nut with 52 points. And the endurance class, Category 3, is leading overall in the endurance class is Alec Wilmot still with 142 points, but hot in his heels is Venture 26, the Class A driver, with 130 points. This was okay, I see this didn't update for some reason. Alrighty, so those are old points. Apologies for that, but let's get back to the action. So we are about to jump into qualifying, so I need to let these guys know that we're going to jump into qualifying, because we've got a long evening ahead of us. Can I swing quickly? Okay, Golfy wants to swing quickly. That means that they've been load shedding. Let me just let him know. Alrighty, so it's very close in this championship, as you can see from those those points. Let's just head over to my my points sheet, and we'll just catch up with those category 3 points. It didn't update there, so we will just do it manually. So this is after Alsace category 3. While we're waiting for Golf Nut to swing over. So currently Venture 26 leads the championship with 190 points. Now Alsace was triple points. It counted triple points, and it was a massive race. So that's why it made such a big difference to the championship. So Venture 26 currently first with 190. Second is Den's Class B driver, 169, not so far behind. Third is David A with 150. Fourth is McFlurry, Class A driver with 149, so very, very close there between those two. Also very close is Jedi Jonah with 147. Death Raccoon on 144. Alex Wilmot 7th with 142. 8th is Safalicious with 139. Hot on his heels is Al in 9th place with 138. Jay bringing up the top 10 on 107. That's a great result from Jay. He's been aiming for a top 10, and it's great to see that he's there. So I think we're just going to check, is everything cool, and then we will jump into qualifying. Let's just ask these guys. Alrighty, these guys have been practicing for a while, and I tell you what, we are a full house tonight. 14 players have entered. So yeah, they've been practicing for a while, and if we just jump into we just have a look, a squiz here. I mean, Venture is absolutely flying. 55.7. I saw today he posted a 55.1, I think it was, on the Discord. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. So will he throw it down in qualifying? Let's see. I'm not sure. But okay. Okay, so I see on the Discord they say we'll wait for in between first and second race. That's great. Okay, cool. 100%. I'm going to start this puppy. So let's get this show on the road. So I've got my OBS system running here on the left, and I've got the real-time screen because there's a bit of lag in between on the right. So I'm going to be switching in between screens. So bear with me, but let's get the show on the road. We're going to start qualifying. Happiness. It looks like only 14 players are entered. What's going on? Is everyone entered? Okay, we're good. Let's do this. Alrighty. So this is going to be interesting. Venture putting it in the wall, turn 1. So we are jumping into qualifying. It's 10 minutes of qualifying, and we saw already in the practice that Venture 26 was super quick. Let me just put this audio back on. Apologies for that. So we saw in the practice Venture 26 was super quick. We know he is fast. Is he going to be able to make it happen? Bring home the bacon here. I think someone's going to have to pull something very special out the bag to catch this man. So he's just got this E30 dialed. Mr. Boombastic has shown some exceptional pace, but you can also not rule out Brian Reed. Mr. Reed is also exceptionally quick. and always likes to get involved. So if they what they need to do is not let Venture 26 get away, and put a lot of pressure onto him, because as soon as, like I've said so many times before, as soon as you let him get away, or let anyone, whoever's in the lead, as soon as you start scrapping with other competitors, then the lead driver will just pull a gap, and then once he doesn't have that pressure, he's able to put his head down and do the lap. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So I think let's see if we can ride on board with Venture 26. And just ask for all the information. There we go. Alrighty, so getting a good lap around here means getting a really, really good exit out of this corner. And there's a very special way you got to ride that second sausage. So let's see. The clock has started. So Venture 26 is super quick around here. So is Alex. He was practicing with us. He's unfortunately not joining us tonight. So let's see where he brakes. Very, very good braking and smooth through there. The car doesn't rotate too much on braking. So yeah, he's got the car nice and settled. It picks up the grip, and you're just asking a lot of this car. They're quite nervous, but they like to snap oversteer, and if you trail brake it too much, it also snaps into an oversteer. So this is a critical corner. Getting the car stopped and getting the power and getting it rotated is really critical. So also a very, very critical corner. You have to brake and carry the momentum. If you take too much curb on the inside, it really unsettles the car. Too much curb on the outside, you get a penalty. Also very critical. You have to carry momentum, but you can't let it run out too wide here, otherwise you will pick up a penalty. So very, very strict. There's a little bump in the road, which is your brake marker right there. So you got that absolutely perfect. Got the car down to second, turns it in. Beautiful work from this man. We know that he's an expert. So giving us a beautiful example of that's a really tough corner. So is this. So easy to feed it in too quickly. Here you have to brake it, get it settled, and here the trick is ride that curb. He didn't really ride the curb, but he got a really good exit anyway, so it shouldn't really affect him too much. So this should be on for a good lap here. No, it's a 56, so then this one should probably be a good lap. So let's jump out and see. So currently first is Venture 26. Second, McFlurry, not sure why I went into the pits, maybe it changes the tyres. Third is Dens. Five minutes remaining, so not a lot of time. You're going to get 3 laps or so in. So currently, let's look at it. First is Venture 26, 56.0. Second is McFlurry, 56.1. Venture will go quicker now. Third is Dens on a 56.5. Fourth is L on a 56.8. Fifth is the Flying Finn, 56.8 as well. Sixth is Mr. Boombastic, 56.9. Seventh is David Day, 57.3. Eighth is the new guy, Mr. Gurnell, 57.7. Ninth is Brian PRD 3, 57.7. Guys, feeling the pressure. 10th is Ian, 58.5. 11th is Slung, 58.7. 12th is Golfy, 59.8. Guys, haven't got a quick lap in. 13th is Addis in the 2 minute. 14th is Jedi in the 2:10. He obviously hasn't got a quick lap in. So let's jump back to the first place man. Let's see what he's going to do now as he goes over the line. Will he go quicker? I suspect he will. He doesn't go much quicker. 56.0. So feeling the pressure, he's going to get 2 more laps, I suspect. 2 or 3 more laps. Interesting, very interesting. So still Venture 26 first, but really nothing in it between him and Al. Al is on a 56.073, Venture on a 56.023. McFlurry on a 56.1. Fourth is Golfy on a 56.3. Fifth is Dens on a 56.5. Sixth is David Day, 56.8. Top 6 covered by 0.8. 7 is the Finn, 56.8. 8th is, so 7th is someone went, David A went 7th, 56.8. 8th is the Finn, 56.8. Was Bubaxi, 56.9. 10th is Jedi, 57.6. 11th is Gurnell, 57.7. Apologies. 13 is Ian, he was 12th. Slung on a 58.8. And 14th is Adder, still on his 2-minute lap. Interesting. So Venture needs to get a good lap in here. He's been very quick, battling to get out of the 56s. Now let me tell you, I battled to get into the 56s on Wednesday night. So having said that, I'll put it down to all my driver excuses. I'm rusty, commentators rust, haven't driven in so long. Let's see what this man can do. 56.6, that's what I thought. So 0.4 quicker. That was a much better time. So let's see, will Al be able to go quicker? Plus 0.4, he doesn't go quicker. So Al stays second, doesn't go quicker. Currently third is Brian, 56.0. So there's not much in it though. When the race is on, the pressure is on, there's going to be no difference between these drivers, and they've got to put the pressure on and not let Venture get away. That's critical for the fight. So apologies, I'm just running through the numbers here. McFlurry 4th, 56.1. 5th is Golfy, 56.3. 6th is Dens on a 56.5. 7th is David A on 56.8. 8th is Finn, still on a 56.8. 9th is Mr. Boombastic on a 59.6. 10th is Jedi on a 57.6. Battling to get out of the 57s. Gurnell is 57.7. Slung 12th on a 58.0. 13th is on a 58.2. And bringing up the rear is Adders on a 2-minute 0.4. Will this man go quicker? We're going to see now. He's going through the aces. This man has been so dialed. He rides that sausage perfectly. Okay, this could be a good lap. He could be on a super flyer here, just to secure his position and not let it get under threat. Does he go quicker? Let's see. Current 56.6. No, it doesn't look like he went quicker there. Alrighty, so there will be another 2 minutes after this lap, so he still will have time. Al went quicker than Brian. Al did a 56.073. Brian did a 56.099. So boys feeling the pressure. 56.1 by McFlurry. McFlurry doesn't go quicker. So McFlurry currently 4th. Ian into the 57s. Well done. So let's look at 5th. Golfy 5th, he's finished. Dens 6th, he's finished. 7th is Dens. Who went 6th? Golf Nut 6th. It's over there. Okay. Looks like everybody's kind of finished now. So we'll see when the So I'm just going to mark it down now. Venture 26 on pole. Interesting. So this man, he's done it again. He's on another flyer. So let's see what he does. Is he gonna go quicker? Doesn't look like it. He's got a bit of a slide on there. Let's look at the times. He's got 2 green sectors. Let's see. Will he go quicker? 55.6. That's his time. He's going to come and cross the line. Let's see. Does he go quicker than a 55? He does. 55.599. Well done. So there's confirmation of your qualifying results. Exceptional work by everybody. And we're going to jump straight into this race. So it's mayhem. It's chaos. It's about to go down. Super pumped. How's the volume? Let's check the comments. Thanks everybody who's watching. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be chaos. I'll keep the keys ready for the the replay. So we're currently looking at Venture 26. Mr. Bombastic is second. How did I miss that? He missed. Okay. Anyway, we're looking at Venture 26. He's in first place. And it's mayhem into the first corner. Brian Reed sends it up the inside. There was a bit of contact there, but it wasn't too bad. So currently Venture 26 getting a really, really good start, but Mr. Reed hot on his heels here. So the massive pack of David A sends it up gets it horribly wrong there. Very, very unfortunate. Looks like everything is going pretty well here. Let's just have a look at that. So David A getting it horribly wrong there, and just unfortunately flying off in the background. Let's continue here. Currently in first place is your man Venture 26, doing a great job holding off the rest of the competition. But up in fifth place, McFlurry's in 5th. Golf Nut and Spage, the Finn, are having a massive dice here. Golfy looks like he's lagging quite a bit. I'm not sure what's going on there. Jedi Jonah is also in this mix. So, let's look at this. So, the Finn and Jedi are going wheel to wheel here. Some good racing. Jedi getting it a bit loose there. Boys getting wild here, going through these going through these tight corners. So side by side, they're still side by side as they come through the S's. Well, they're leaving each other a lot of room here, but it's getting quite loose on these boys, and Den's just waiting there, waiting for his opportunity to pounce. So side by side they go. Jedi moves out the way, possibly out of the slip to try and not let Dens through, but he stays on the inside. So who will take it into turn 1? Jedi has the inside line, he has the better line, but the Finn just manages to get ahead, and Mr. Boombastic is waiting in the wings there. So currently Jedi 6th, 7th is Mr. Boombastic. Some very, very good racing here from these guys. 8th is Dens. Sounds like a train of bees. 9th is Golf Nut. 10th is Mr. Gurnell, the new guy. 11th is Slung. 12th is Adders. Jedi is 13th. Very unfortunate of that spin. 14th is Ian B. So, Venture 26 currently racing just in front of Brian Reed, and very, very close between these two. Let's just jump on board with Venture 26. Very, very close quarters here now. Brian showing him the nose. There wasn't really a move there, and possibly just hurting his exit in doing so because he runs himself off the line there. So Venture 26 getting a really, really good drive out of this corner. Brian's got to put his head down if he wants to take this man on. Beautiful shots. It reminds me of the old Group N racing where you saw this BM come flying. Look at them jumping over the curbs. Glorious shot there as they come through onto the main straight. So Venture 26 opened up a nice gap behind Brian. So if we just look at the gap, it's about 0.6 between the two. Not much in it, but Brian needs to put his head down and just focus on driving and not getting too crazy about showing him the nose or anything funny. He has to try and close that gap now. So Brian Reed, Brian Reed second. Third is McFlurry. He's got about a 2.6 second gap to Brian. Fourth is Al. Fifth is Spage Finn. Sixth is Jedi Jonah. Seventh is Mr. Bombastic, having a big ding dong there with Denz. So Denz is going to take Mr. Bombastic into this section of the circuit. This, I don't know what the name of the corner is, but Denz will have the inside line here. Great driving from Denz there. Very, very good. Calm and collected. So 8th now, Mr. Bombastic. 9th is Golf Nut Pro. 10th is Mr. Gurnell. Good drive from the new guy, keeping it together. These two cars looking very, very similar. Mr. Gurnell and Slung in the Genetsu Motorsport car. Adders 12th. Nice little ding dong here between Adders and David A. Looks like Adders just gave David A or pulled out. David A's got his hazards on. David A has the inside line there. Adders runs it a bit deep, unfortunately there. Brakes too late, but he kept it on the circuit, which is really good. Well done, sir. 13th is now Adders. 14th is Ian B. Back to our leaders. So currently the gap's still 0.6 as they get onto the main straight and head on to the main straight for the last lap. Now, will Mr. Reed be able to get close enough to make an attempt on the position? Looks like there's something happening further up the road there. So let's look. Second, Brian. Third, McFlurry. Fourth is Al. Fifth is the Finn. Sixth is Jedi. Seventh is Denz. Eighth is Golfy. Ninth is Mr. Bombastic. And the rest follows on. Let's look at the leaders. It's the last lap now. Venture is the fastest lap on a 55.5. It's a very, very good time. Brian 1 second behind him. Brian also sitting with a penalty. 0.3 of a penalty. So will he be able to close the gap? I'm not sure. It almost seems like the gap is too big. And Venture 26 is an exceptionally good driver, and he doesn't just sort of make a mistake. So that's South African slang. Brian's going to pick up another penalty there. Currently third in is McFlurry Twist. Fourth is Al. Fifth is the Finn. Great drive by the new guy. Jedi 6. So now another big ding dong between these two. Like I said before, you couldn't fit a feeler gauge between these guys. They seem to find each other every single time. It's the last lap. Jedi versus Denz. Who's going to take it? It's close. So let's go back to your leaders. Brian, looks like he got what he might have wanted to try and move there, but the gap just seems to be a bit too big. So Venture 26 is going to come over the line first. Second is Brian, 0.6 behind. Third is McFlurry Twist. Fourth is Al. Fifth is the Finn. Sixth is Jedi Jonah. Seventh is Denz. Eighth is Golfy. Ninth is the new guy. Oh, great finish there. 10th, Mr. Bombastic. 11th, Slung. 12th was David A. 13th, Adders, and Ian bringing up the rear. So excellent racing there from these guys in the E30 M3s, Category 1 of the SSBB Esport Season 2 Championship. What a great race that was. Well done, McFlurry. sorry, venture 26. Well done, Brian. Well done, McFlurry. The guys bringing up the podium. Exceptional racing once again. And got to hand it to this man. He did not make one mistake. Absolute stellar drive once again. Well done, sir. Great racing. So, save the replay because I always forget to save the replay. We'll come back to the results. Let's just change the room settings. So what we're going to do is load the settings. Okay. All right, we are back. Just captured the points. And apologies, I've got to reset the grid. So let's check this out. So change grid order. So now the grid is going to be based on current championship points, but in reverse order. So if I go to overall points now, alrighty, so now we're just going to make sure everyone's in the room. Looks like just need David A to enter, but it's fine. I can do him soon. So change the grid order. Alrighty, so the Finn will be starting on pole. Second will be Mr. Bombastic. This is going to be interesting. Third will be Ian B. Fourth will be Brian. He's probably going to... That was quite a send by Brian, I must say, in turn one. Let's see if he does it again. I wonder if the guys will be wise to it. Golfy will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Has Golfnut entered? He has. So behind Golfnut is Slung. Behind Slung is Adders. Behind Adders is Cephalicious. He's not racing. Alex is not racing. Owl. McFlurry. Jedi. Death Raccoon. He's not racing. David A. Of the Jedi. Those two. And Dens. Here we go. Here's a proper race developing. And then Venture 26. I don't see Mr. Gurnall here. Apologies, I'm just going to have to... Mr. Gurnall will be on pole. So Venture 26 will be there. So that should be your grid. So I'm just going to do some editing on the points here. All right, welcome back. So you're looking at the new guy, Mr. Gurnall. He's recently joined us. Welcome, sir. It's great to have you. Thank you for joining us. You joined us at round 7 of this manic championship, and it's looking pretty good. You're in the middle of an absolutely ridiculous one-make E30 BMW M3 Series. So currently the quickest man out there is Mr. Bombastic. Second is Dens. Third is Mr. Gurnall. Fourth is Brian. Fifth is Jedi. So let's just see if Golfy is back. Golfy is back. Fantastic. Yes, thank you, Al. I did save the replay. Let me just get to the comments here. No comments. Okay. Cool. So let's do this. I think we're gonna give it a. Okay, now I'll be right back. So I think we're gonna give it a good 3 minutes or 4 minutes. So that was quite a race. Turn 1. I'm sure there will be much debate about that. I see in the comments there already was some debate, quite a bit of debate around turn 1, but I think Brian was quite. It was quite an aggressive move, but it was nothing untoward. So Mr. Bombastic changing tires now. So we're riding with David A. Hopefully he has a much better race. He battled there, man. He had that massive accident. Oh, I'm not sure what happened. We'd have to go back and look at the replay in that. But yeah, there could be a incident report. Hopefully nobody drove into anybody, or there wasn't any underhanded tactics. But often, people and things just happen and things go wrong. So, still, your man out there quickest is Mr. Bombastic. Let's just look at the times. Mr. Bombastic's quickest on a 53. Apologies, Al has gone quickest on a 53.1. Currently, the fastest man out there is Mr. Bombastic on a 53.3. Second is Golfy 53.7. Third is Dens 54.0. Fourth is David A 54.2. Fifth is Brian 54.5. Sixth is Jedi 54.9. Seventh is McFlurry. So this will be really interesting. So I'm going to tell these guys we are starting soon. So this is also going to be a manic race. It's 5 laps. See, Ian is typing. It's going to be 5 laps. There is tire wear in this race, so the tires are going to go off, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see who can manage their tires. Now, the third heat of this this evening's race is the endurance, and that is not going to be here. That is somewhere else, and that will all be revealed pretty soon. But so yeah, it's going to be very interesting. 5th Davide, 6th is the new man, Mr. Gurnall. 7th Brian, Genetsu Motorsport. Will he send it up in turn 1? 8th is Jedi Jonah. NB Golfy, talk to me in that section of Afrikaans. Whew, they're obviously on that on the live chat, so it's a good job we're not on that chat, because things get pretty wild. 10th is the Finn in the black M4. 11th is Adders. 12th is Slung. 13th venture 26. No point in driving. Alrighty, so let's get the show on the road. Alright, so we've got 5 laps ahead of us. It's reverse grid based on current championship position, and you saw me set the grid. So, best I go to the circuit so I can see what's going on. Alrighty, I can't see the lights, but let's see. We've got the new man on pole. Will he be able to get a clean start and not have any issues going into the first corner? Let's see. It's wild. He doesn't have a good start, and Mr. Bombastic has a much better start. So currently the Finn is in first. He's right on the left hand side of your screen, on the right hand side of the circuit. So he had a very, very good start. He's going to defend there, Mr. Bombastic, on the racing line, so he'll get much better drive. But third is Ian B. Brian in 4th place. So Brian will want to settle down and try have get into a rhythm now, because he's going to want to take a position in this race. So currently, let's go back to your leader, Spage Finn, under a lot of pressure from Mr. Bombastic there, who is exceptionally good in this car. Mr. Bombastic going for a move there on the Finn, but Finn not having it, but Mr. Bombastic got up the inside. So also Brian Reed looking for the move on Ian B. Ian is also not having any of it. Ian is driving a very, very good race. Let's just drive on board with Ian, looking at Brian. Brian getting Ian going defensive. Brian sending it up the inside. It was a touch and go move. So the Finn looked like he had a bit of a... not sure what's happening there. So let's just ride on board here with Ian B. It's getting a bit wild here behind him. He's got Brian Reed hot on his heels, and then he's got the Finn behind Brian and Mr. Gurnell. So currently we're riding with Ian in second, but Brian had a much better exit there. So your first place driver is Mr. Bombastic. Second is Brian Reed. Third is the Finn. Got a much better slip. Fourth is Ian. Fifth is Mr. Gurnell. He's going to be under a lot of pressure here coming into this corner. He's got L on his inside. Will he be able to defend? No. So L takes him into the corner, into turn 1. He manages to hold on. It's all happening further down the field as well. So Gurnell losing places, hand over fist here. Will he be able to hang on to his current 6th place position? He has the inside line here. Mr. McFlurry putting him under a lot of pressure. McFlurry goes around the outside, but he will have the inside for the next corner. This is a critical corner, second gear corner, as you come up and line the car up to go down the hill. David A looking to capitalize on this as well. David A now has the inside line. So McFlurry got ahead. We're still riding with Mr. Gurnell. David A not quite there. So David A there. 9th is Venture 26. 10th is Slung GT. 11th is Jedi Jonah. And these two again, hammer and tongs. Let's just ride on board with Jedi. Very, very close with these guys. Nothing in it. So currently riding with Dens there in 12th. Dens and Jedi having a very close ding dong. 13th is Adders. Golfy 14th, something must have happened to him. Apologies. So here we're sitting with Mr. Bombastic first, driving a very good race. This man is very consistent, very quick. He's also got the quickest lap time, but he also has a 0.4 of a penalty, but he should be alright with that, because Brian is PRD3 is 1.4 seconds behind him. So currently in second is Mr. PRD3. Third is the Finn. Fourth is Al. Managed to get past Gernal. It was just really being preyed upon by all these hungry M4s hunting him down. Let's look at this race. Davide looking for the inside here. Gernal runs it a bit wide, but he will have the inside line for the next corner. So he wants to defensive. Davide runs it a bit wide, and Ian B putting Davide under a bit of pressure now. So David in 7th place. Let's go back to Mr. Gernal. Here we're riding on board with Mr. Gernal, looking backwards at Davide. In lap 3 of 5, he's going to have to fend off this man. Ooh, David will probably pick up a penalty, but he gets a good run out of that corner. So will he go for the move? He doesn't. Very, very close racing here with these guys. Venture gets a brilliant move down on Ian B. So we're still riding with Gernal here. But Venture had a great move there on Ian. Let's just move up to 4th place here. So McFlurry got past Al there. We'll jump back past and look at that now. Let's just look at that. So we didn't go back far enough. Let's see. So McFlurry moving around to try and get the man out of his slip. If we move up to 5th place, it's L. 6 is Gernal and Davide having a fantastic race here. Very, very good racing from these guys. The new guy holding his own against seasoned campaigners here. Very, very good racing. Venture 26 pushing hard. He's not that happy in this car. He likes the E30, it seems, because once that man gets onto the circuit in that E30, it's gone. Overs. You have to wake up very, very early in the morning if you want to beat Venture in an E30 M3. So let's go to the man himself, Venture 26. Let's just ride on board with this man. So, looking at this fight. Oh, Gernal runs it wide. Venture's going to capitalize. Well done, well done. Excellent move there from Venture. 3 wide into the sweep. Venture gets it done. It was being in the right place at exactly the right time. So he's going to go defensive now. The 2 purple cars. Venture doing a great job there, driving very defensively. He's got the line. So that was very, very well done. Very, very smooth move. He didn't drive into anyone. He was at the right place at the right time, and he just put his car in the right place and got the pass done. He had the momentum and was able to make it happen. So currently your first place man, Mr. Bombastic. The gap 0.6 to Brian Reed. Brian Reed's second. He's got so Mr. Bombastic with a 0.1 penalty. First 0.6 to gap to Brian. Brian's got a 1.2 second penalty with a 1 second gap to the Finn. Fourth is McFlurry, 2.8 seconds behind. Fifth is Al. Sixth is Venture 26 under a lot of pressure from Davide. Some great racing here from these guys. Davide hanging in there, showing that he can still throw it down when he needs to. And it's amazing how some drivers favour some cars. And David had that corner. He did have the inside line there. But just succumbing to the pressure maybe a little bit. Venture, very, very close racing between these two. So they both, Venture ran it deep into the corner, but there was no contact between these two. They're still side by side coming through this bottom sweep. Will they do it? Venture gets into the front. David has to settle behind him, but now Mr. Gernal is back. and he's looking to capitalize on this little dice. So he's currently 8th, but he has Jedi Jonah 9th, hot on his heels behind him. So it is, oh, Jedi going for the move. Does he make it stick? He does. Oh, gets it very, very sideways. So some fantastic racing from these guys. We're on the final lap. Let's see. Does Brian make a move? Oh, Brian runs into the back of Mr. Bombastic. There was contact there, but I see Brian didn't. He gave the position back, and now, yeah, not sure what's happening there. Okay, Mr. Bombastic first, second Brian, third the Finn, fourth McFlurry, fifth is I couldn't see. 7th is David, 8th is Jedi, 9th is Venture, 10th is Dens, and the list goes on. So there's confirmation of your results. Bit of a crazy finish to that race, but some amazing racing nonetheless. Well done, sir, Mr. Bombastic. Again, amazing racing. But what a race from Venture and David Day and Mr. Gunnell. Fantastic stuff from these guys. Save the replay, yes. So, Jedi Jonah getting the fastest lap. That's amazing. Excellent work, Jedi. So I'm just going to capture these points and get these guys ready for the endurance race. Stand by. We are back, sorry. And let me tell you, I've got something special lined up for these boys. So, let me just post this comment. So, it is the Nürburgring 24-hour this weekend. And I thought it only fit that we do the same. So, however, we're not going to do it 24 hours of the Nürburgring. We are going to do five laps of the Nürburgring with tyre wear, and it is going to be Cat 3. No ghosting during the race. And grid order will be set by host. So, there we go. And it's a night race. So, 5 laps of the Nürburgring at night. They're gonna hate me for this. But it's only fitting since we are racing there. Here we go, the Green Hull. That's right. We are racing at the Green Hull and it's nighttime. No, it's actually not that bad. I did a few laps earlier and it's really cool. I was going to tell these guys. Pit rules, yes. Alright, so 2 pit stops as usual, both for tires and fuel. Alrighty, so this is going to be a tough race. Yet another really difficult race. Yes, it's crazy. It's freaking epic. Five minutes. I think we'll start in 10 minutes. I'm saying start in 20 minutes. The reason for that is it's going to give the guys time to get some practice in, to figure out what's going on with the tires and the fuel. So I did test the setup. It is challenging, but it's not super difficult. So look at these shots, stunning shots. These M6s. Now there are various M6s racing this weekend. I don't know what that means. So obviously someone's got the wrong livery. So it's going to be interesting. Nürburgring 24-hour circuit, and Golfy seems to know his way around this circuit. It's right on board. This man is quick around here. Beautiful circuit. And it's actually really nice to drive. It has such a beautiful flow to it. But obviously when you're really on the limit, there's so much risk involved, and that's probably the big thing with the circuit, is that there is so much risk involved. Yep, Mr. Gurnall, I'm sorry, my brother. This is how it goes. We get challenged, and we have to rise to the challenge. Yeah, what the green hell. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but the more laps you do around here, the better you will get. And the thing is, it's the same for everybody. So you just have to kind of hang in there and do your thing, and we'll be okay. So some beautiful shots here. Who's second? That's the Finn. The only thing is you can't really see who's who here. So beautiful livery from the Finn. Oh, getting it nice and sideways there. So this is also going to be a race of attrition. So here we're looking at Mr. Bombastic. Dan's 5th. 6 is Al. Slum GT. That is 9th. This is going to be a real challenge for a lot of these drivers. And it's just because we've never raced here before. Who are we looking at? Venture 26. No, Mr. Gurnall. So here's McFlurry Twist. 13th is Venture. Brian is still in the pits. So it's probably going to be the case that some of the drivers won't even practice. So let's keep looking at these beautiful shots of Golfy who just put it in the wall. I'm going to take a quick break. Some beautiful shots here of Venture 20, apologies, of the Finn and Golfy having a good ding dong. It's great to see. So these guys have had a lot of track time. Let's just dive into the comments here. Alrighty. So Golfy and the Finn having a nice ding dong. Some good racing between these two. I need to set the grid. Alrighty, so did I save the last replay? Okay, replay's already been saved. Let me set the grid and then we'll get this show on the road. So again, Mr. Gunnell's going to start on pole. Second will be the Finn, which it is the case. Third will be Ian. Fourth will be Mr. Boombastic. Fifth will be Golf Nut. Sixth will be Slung. Seventh will be Brian. Addis will be eighth. Ninth, Safalicious is not here. Alex is not here. Death Raccoon's not here. L is next. McFlurry after L. Jedi after McFlurry. Dens after Jedi. David Day. How did I miss Addis? Addis is after Brian. That's right. David A and then Venture 26. Getting this horribly wrong. Ian is up in fifth. 1, 2, 3. Ian, then Mr. Boom. What have I done? Let's start again. Mr. Gunnell first. Second is the Finn. Third is Ian. Fourth is Mr. Boombastic. Fifth is Golfy. Sixth is Slung. Seventh is Brian. 8th is Adders. 9th is L. 10th is McFlurry. 11th is Jedi. 12th is Dens. 13th is David A. 14th is Venture. There we go. Alrighty. So, interesting. Let's just go back to the circuit and see the time that these guys have done. So I'm going to say we're going to start pretty soon. These guys have had a lot of track time. So let's get it on. Starting in 2 minutes. So this is, like I say, this is reverse grid. It's going to be tough. It's double points, the usual points, the usual setup. Interesting. Right. Let's get it on. Starting now. So these guys have a long race ahead of them. Probably going to be about an hour's worth of racing. So sit down, get comfortable, enjoy. Again, this is the normal double points. Again, the new man on pole. I'm going to keep you glued to the screen. So the new guy doesn't get a good start. Who's currently in first? The Finn has got a beautiful start. Look at that gorgeous livery. So let's just we'll save it from there. Yeah. Not sure what happened. Apologies. Oh, all sorts of mayhem happening in the back there. So let's so Spage Finn getting a really good start there. Let's just go back and see, can we see anything? Let's look in fourth place to see if we can see any mayhem happening. So that's Ian B sending it up the inside. Not sure what happened there. Golfy spun. No, Golfy had a good clean start. Not really sure who spun and what happened. We'd have to go and see, but crazy. So let's get back to the racing. So currently your man in first is the Spage Finn. Look at that beautiful shot with the glowing discs. He really has a magnificent gap over Golfy. So Golfy's second, he has a 3.3 gap over Golfy. Third is McFlurry. who has Venture 26 hot on his heels. So Venture 26 managed to climb up the grid quite nicely. He's up to 4th place here. This is going to do his championship really well. If he can stay in 4th place, it'll be very, very interesting to see where he finishes. Obviously, these drives have to contend with fuel consumption and tire wear. So that's the other thing that is really going to be a big deal in this race. So Brian Reed currently in 5th. 6th is Slung. 7th is Ian. 8th is David A. 9th is Jedi. 10th is Denz. These three, can't separate them. 11th is Mr. Gurnell, the new guy. 12th is Al. 13th is Mr. Bombastic. I think he must have had a nasty start because he's all the way down. 14th is Adders. Hanging in there as always. Just put your head down, sir. You're going to do well. Apologies. So, back to your leader. Some gorgeous shots. This man obviously knows his way around the circuit. Look at those brake discs. Oh. So let's ride on board with the Finn. And you can see how quick he is around here. He knows the circuit really, really well. And it's amazing how well these drivers just adapt to the circuit. And some drivers are better than others at it, but that is what makes a really good driver, is your ability to adapt to the circuit. In 2nd, Golfy. Now this man is the dark horse in this race. He knows his way around the circuit. It's probably also fuel saving. So let's just display all. And look at the fuel consumption and the tire wear. So now it'll be interesting because you wouldn't want to stop every lap. You want to conserve fuel so you can stop possibly every 2nd lap. So stop at the end of lap 2 maybe. Do lap 3 and stop again at the end of lap 4, and then you can do lap 5. Slung has left the room unfortunately. Not sure what happened there. So we're currently looking at your man Golf Nut. 4th is McFlurry Twist. So let's look at Golfy's fuel consumption. Just over a quarter, 3/4. McFlurry's just a bit more. So already the fuel saving tactics coming into play here. Venture 26 has Brian hot on his heels there. So Brian just giving him a little how's it, a little hurry up there. Working together. Brian overdoing it there a bit. So who are they catching now? So there's someone in front of them. That's McFlurry. So interesting, but McFlurry will be fuel saving. So he's not just going to give up the position, but this man will be fuel saving. Now this is an interesting little battle of these three. So currently McFlurry on about a quarter tank. These guys will be gauging their fuel consumption. You won't want to stop every lap. 4th, so interesting. Venture, out of these three, Venture's used the most fuel. So this is what it's really going to come down to. Attrition. Oh, McFlurry running it a bit wide, going in too hot there. So let's just ride on board with Venture. Again, he's got Brian hot on his heels here. So the problem with the circuit is it's such a difficult place. You can't just pass. Oh, unlucky. Very, very unlucky. Sorry, Venture. Just got it wrong there. Feeling the pressure a bit there. So, driving on board with BR now. So, BR is currently in 4th place. Let's just look. Can we see? Unlucky. Venture 26 just spun there. Let's see, can we catch it again? No, just a bit too late. So the yellow flag's coming out, and luckily he stops and misses everybody, lets everyone go through. That's really experienced driving. Well done, sir. So very unlucky there. Sorry to see it. So back to your first place driver. The fin getting it a bit loose. It'll be interesting how far down the track they are. So they're gonna have to fuel save like crazy to make 2 laps. So interesting. Golfy's second. So currently the fin going down the Dottinjahur. I think I pronounced that right. Second is Golfy's, not far behind, 3.4 seconds. Third is McFlurry, also going down the Dottinjahur. I don't know. Just had a sip of my beverage. Back to your first place man. So he's timed this well. He's got exactly half a tank of fuel. Perfect. Great job. Second, Golfy. Same thing. Golfy has used McFlurry coming into the pits early. That's interesting. That is a very interesting strategy. McFlurry the only one to do so. So third is Brian. Fourth is David A. Same. Fifth is Dens. Sixth is Mr. Boombastic coming into the pits early. So they might go long. Seventh is Venture 26. 10th is Ian with Jeddah behind him. Who's just gone into the pits? Mr. Gurnell. Interesting. So Mr. Boombastic just leaving now. Ad is also going into the pits. Very interesting. So very interesting strategy. Some people choosing to put early and others not. So Venture, the problem now is your tires. You're going to feel it on your tires. That's where you're going to feel it for this lap. I'm currently feeling it on my tires here. It's winter. It's winter in Pretoria. It's nothing like a winter in the UK, but it still gets pretty nippy, as you can see. But I'm laying it up here. So currently riding with your race leader, the Finn has got a 3.7 gap to Golf Nut. Now the fuel consumption and tyre wear between these two is very much of a muchness. However, the Finn has used a bit more tyre, so perhaps that will work in Golfy's favour as we go into this this second lap. Golfy pushing very hard now. You can see this man likes this track. Oh, he's running it wide everywhere, but he's doing well. Some beautiful shots here on board with Golfy. I reckon the thing with this track is if you just stay consistent, nothing wild, you'll do alright. Currently third is Mr. BR. So let's look at second. BR has a bit more fuel. Again, gorgeous shot with those discs glowing. Fourth is David A. Fifth is Dens. Nothing in it between David A and Dens. About a second between the two. Sixth, Venture 26 has got about an 8-second gap. Seventh is McFlurry. Now McFlurry is pitted early. He was one of the guys that pitted early. Eighth is Mr. Bombastic, also pitted early. So, but Mr. Bombastic's used a lot more fuel. Now we've seen before that Mr. Bombastic's very aggressive in his strategies, and it's worked out for him. Let's see if it does this time. Ninth is Jedi. He didn't put. 10th is Ian. He didn't put either. 11th is Al. Also didn't put. 12th is the new guy. He did put. And 13th is Adders. He also did put. Trying to get all the info back again. There we go. Alrighty, so looking at your race leader. This man is flying. He obviously knows this circuit really well. And what a drive as well. I mean, he's opened up a 20-second gap. He's going to have to stop this time. But he's not battling at all. Golfy's used an... Oh, interesting. He ran it a bit deep there. That's the fin. Valtteri Raikkonen. But he's kept it together. So also Golfy also pushing very hard. Doesn't want that gap to open up anymore. We're still about a 20-second gap here. And back to Mr. Reed. Still very maintaining his consistency. Used less fuel. Oh. So used less fuel than both of the guys in front of them. Driving an interesting race, so he could potentially close the gap quite a bit on the fuel stop. We're running it deep there. He'll pick up a penalty for that. But yeah, it's so difficult to judge as the tyre wear sets in. David A just closed that gap now to 6 seconds pretty much. Den's 7 seconds behind David A. Venture 26, 2.6 seconds behind Dens, so he's busy hunting down Dens. And after his unfortunate spin earlier, it's very unlucky. So 7th McFlurry, who has pitted, so he'll probably go long. He's done one of his 2 mandatory pit stops, and he might go long here. Pit to the end of lap 3 maybe, and then send it to the end. Mr. Bombastic, 8th, probably following suit on McFlurry. 9th is Jedi. 5 seconds behind him is Al. 4.7, 4.6 seconds now, closing the gap. Ian B behind him. Mr. Gurnell, 12 seconds, 12th place, 7 seconds, 8 seconds behind Ian. Adders hanging in there, good man. He's learning every race, he's taking it all in. Exceptional character from this man, and we can all learn a lot from that. Okay, so your race leader goes into the pits for his first pit stop. Interesting. Golfy will also go into the pits now, as well as Brian. He will also have to go into the pits. So there's your race leader. This beautiful car. So it's got to turn over one click. It will obviously turn over with one click. Look at that gorgeous livery. This man is doing everything right. So all three, the front three cars in the pits. David A will also want to pit now. So the Finn out in first place. This man knows the circuit, you can see that for sure. Second is Golfy. The gap 10 seconds now. Third is McFlurry. So interesting how this is played out. Brian is down in 8th. It's very interesting. So McFlurry's closed the gap. He's going to go long now. Fourth is Mr. Bombastic. Listen to that, those pops and crackles. So if we go to McFlurry, look at his fuel consumption. He's got just over half a tank. The fuel will play a bigger role than the tires in this race. Obviously, Golfy did a splash and dash. The fin filled up. That's interesting. Third is McFlurry. He's got pretty much the same as what... Okay, so Golfy basically halved the gap. I'm not sure if you remember. The gap was about 20 seconds going into this pit stop. So Golfy's halved that gap. Will he be able to pull that out? Oh, I'm not sure. The fin is so quick around here. But Golfy will have to go long now, because the Finn has a full tank. So when will he stop? Probably at the end of lap 4. So not sure. But anyway, it'll be a splash and dash. Third is McFlurry. Fourth is Mr. Bombastic. 11 seconds behind McFlurry. 2 seconds behind him is Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed looks like he's lost out a bit here in this whole pit stop situation. 6 is Denz. So let's look at Denz. Let's look at the Finn. A 9-minute lap time. Golfy 9:10. So the Finn's got the quickest lap time, obviously. 8:28. 8:33 from Mr. Bombastic. It's not bad. Brian 9:18. Denz 9:18. 7th is David A. Hot on his heels is Adventure 26. Now these boys have pitted. So this is interesting. This is good driving from David A. He needs to just keep his head down. Yeah, that turbo spool up sounds glorious. I'm not a turbo guy. I do not the biggest fan of turbos on race cars, but this car does sound fantastic. These guys having a nice little scrap here. 0.4 of a second gap between these two. Madness. Look at the speed they're carrying through there. Okay. And the problem with this track is it's very, very difficult to overtake. So it makes for good endurance racing, but it doesn't make for good sprint racing. Not that you'd ever have a sprint race here. Probably be a 2-lapper. So Venture getting a much better drive there. Look at those sparks. Gorgeous shots. Oh, David overshot that corner properly. And that corner. So, okay, he gets reset there. So, let's go to 9th place. Jedi. 10th is Al. So also not much of a gap between these two, Al and Mr. Goodnell, 1.2 second gap. New guy faring well. He's this is quite the deep end he's been thrown in here. 12th is Adders. So Adders and Ian having a good race here. So Ian has a full tank, Adders doesn't. Okay, so Ian has stopped. Let's jump back to the lead. The gap still about 9 seconds. So Golfy managing that gap really well. The Finn could be watching his fuel. Golfy's on a quarter tank. The Finn's on a 3/4 tank. Third McFlurry's on half a tank. Interesting. I think I'm going to swap these two around. Alrighty, so I've been riding with McFlurry. Let's jump to first place, Mr. Bombastic. He's shown great consistency in his short career here at SSBB Esport. Some beautiful shots of the flames shooting out the side, but yeah, this man can pedal a car, that's for sure. Got a purple sector there. And also a very, very good clean driver. Brian was saying earlier that he's been enjoying the racing and the sparring between them two, so it's really great to be able to drive with someone that you can have is that YouTube corner? That you can have these battles with and be able to know that when you go to abreast through the corner, looks like McFlurry went a bit wide there. Let's go to McFlurry here. See this gap. So it's good to know when you know to abreast, you can trust the person that you're racing with. It's really good when you race with someone like that, because then it allows you to really have some close racing and keep it clean at the same time. So jump to 5th is Brian Reed. So now these boys are on the 3rd lap. It'll be interesting to see. Golfy will have to put the end of this lap out on the dot in your hair now. Gap still around 9.3. The Finn will go long again, but he will have to put at some point as well. Some gorgeous shots. Flying. Just flying. So 270, 273. So the Finn hasn't got in the pits. Golfy will go in the pits. And Golfy will go to the end of the race on this pit stop. It'll be interesting to see. Let me have some more of my beverage. So, Mr. Bombastic, McFlurry and Golfy all stopped. How much fuel will Golfy put in? He's got to have 2 laps worth of fuel. He goes a full tank. Interesting. So Golfy's still second. Brian now up to third. But Brian will have to stop again. He's got half a tank and he's going to try and push to the end. Which I don't think he can do because he's only stopped once. So he will have to stop again. So Golfy in a really good position here. 47 seconds behind the Finn. It'll probably come down to the 10-second deal. The Finn currently has half a tank, so now he's not going to have to stop for a full tank. It's the other thing, Golfy had to stop for a full tank there. The Finn will not have to stop for a full tank, so it might even out to the 20-second gap that we had in the beginning. Also, the Finn is on a fast lap here, so he could be maximizing his advantage here. Very, very well played by this man. So currently second, Golf Nut, 8:58. Third is Mr. Reed, 8:37. Fourth is Dens, 8:32. Fifth is Venture, 26. He's recovered well from this. Will also have to stop again. Sixth is McFlurry, who I think has stopped recently. Seventh is Mr. Bombastic. Eighth is David A. Ninth is L. Excuse me. 10th is Jedi Jonah. 11th is Mr. Gunnell. 12th is EMB. And 13th is Adders. Just running it a bit wide there. So it's a tough circuit if you're not used to it. Apologies. So the Finn, like I said before, he will have to stop again, but I suspect it's going to come down to that 20-second deal because he won't have to stop for a full tank. At the end of this lap, he's got one lap to go. However, the rules do stipulate that when you do stop, the fuel counter has to tick over 1 unit to justify the rule of putting fuel in, because there are 2 mandatory pit stops, one for both have to be tires and fuel. So he will have to satisfy that rule to not get a penalty, but it looks like he's playing this very well. Golfy doing a great job here. This man hasn't raced with us in a while, and it's great to see him back and have him back. He's having an exceptional race. I think he loves this place, and he's loving this M6. It's a gorgeous car. It just has all the torque in the world. BR not far behind him, but BR will have to stop again. I suspect that Dens, let's just look, Dens, yeah, so Dens and BR, pretty much the same fuel, and Venture will all have to stop again. McFlurry has stopped, so McFlurry will potentially be your third place man, and those 3 will slot in after Mr. Bombastic, I believe, yes, behind David A. So BR will slot in most likely behind Mr. Bombastic. Riding with this man is also an exceptional driver, very hungry, loves to throw it down, loves to have a really good scrap, and great to have him with us. Dens has been very, very consistent. He's had a good race, good evening so far as well. He's also doing quite well in the points. If I just look here, I've updated the points on my side. So as it stands after the last race, Dens is 3rd overall. Category 3, Dens is 2nd. So he's doing exceptionally well. This will throw a span in the works because this is now double points, and the usual protagonists are not at the top of the field. So it does wonders for the points. It really keeps changes things up, and it makes it a bit unpredictable, and it gives everybody a chance. So that's the whole idea, and it's great to see these guys really push themselves and find ways to develop themselves and adapt and do well in the championship. So it's excellent to have them on board. Venture 26 doing well. He's recovered nicely, and he will. Oh, unfortunately, he spins out there. Oh no, Venture. Oh, apologies. That was from the last race. So let's just see that. Very unlucky, Venture. Sorry, buddy. Another spin. Not good. Perhaps not having the best race this evening. He was untouchable in that E30. 8th currently is David A, sitting second in the championship. But Denz is very, very hot in his heels. Denz is a very good chance to close the gap to Venture 26 here. Denz will, if they finish as it stands, Denz will move ahead of Davide in the points, and but still Davide is hanging in there. He's doing well. The fact that he's second in the championship just shows how unpredictable things can be. 9th is Al, also just battling. Had a big spin there as well. So we can go back and see. Yeah, looks like he just touched the grass and got it wrong. Unlucky, Mr. Al. So, apologies. Let's go on board to Ian here. Ian is in 11th place. He hasn't raced with us in a while. It's great to have him back. Probably just the rust setting in. He's got to settle down, and again, this is really the deep end for anybody to be thrown into. So let's jump to your leader. He's currently in the pits, so this will be interesting. How much fuel did he put in? He put in enough, just over half a tank. What is the gap now to Golfy? Still 47 seconds. What has happened there? There must have been something that happened there. Golfy must have spun or something. Oh no, sorry, it is down to 17, so it never changed. Okay, so it was around 20 seconds, which is very similar to what I predicted. So, but Golfy's closed the gap a bit. Good job on Golfy there. So, as predicted, those guys have pitted. So, Denz is in the pits. Will David A come into the pits? He will have to. Yes, he flew into the pits. Damn. Alrighty, so it's going to be on between David A and Denz. Those two, although I think David A is a bit too far behind. So, Mr. Bombastic currently third. He passed McFlurry. Must have, because McFlurry was going to be in third place. So, Mr. Bombastic must have passed McFlurry. So, McFlurry is going to be a maximum power now. Oh, Mr. Bombastic just making a mistake there. So, McFlurry has an opportunity to close the gap now. This will be interesting. BR 18 seconds behind McFlurry. So, will McFlurry close the gap on Mr. Bombastic and get onto the podium? It's interesting. It's around 6 seconds. I'm not sure if he can do it. Although there's a lot of track ahead of you. Currently looking at some beautiful shots with these glowing discs. So, Den's in 6th. He's got a 2.6 second gap to Venture 26, who has a 9 second gap to David Day. So, the battle for second overall in the championship is between David Day and Den's, as I was saying earlier. There's 1 point between them. If I just show you here. So there's 1 point between David A and Den's, and the way it's looking now, Den's will jump up into second place. So there's a good battle going on there. Venture will most likely still stay ahead, because he has quite a big gap. Well, let's jump back to Mr. Bombastic and see. Okay, so the gap is up to 7 seconds. I don't think McFlurry is going to be able to close that gap now. Beautiful shots. So let's jump back to David A in 8th position. This man's just had a bit of an unlucky race this race. He's done really well this whole season. Consistency pays in the long run. 9th is Jedi Jonah. Hot on his heels is L. So yeah, currently riding with Jedi here. It is the final lap. I think the Finn is going to take this one. Oh, good racing here between these two. Beautiful dice. Al taking Jedi on the brakes there. Beautiful pass there. A very tight corner. You have to be very careful there. This one also very tight. And yeah, Al just so we're in 10th. Let's just see where our leader is. Okay, he's not on the dot in your hair yet. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Doesn't matter. I guess a lot of Germans would disagree. Let me see in the comments. No one said anything, so. Oh, unlucky. Ian just getting it wrong there. So, Mr. Gurnall 12th. Adders 13th. Not much in it here. Adders can possibly push for a position here. Problem is that that Z4 is just so heavy on fuel. Yeah, Adders doing well to hang in there. Shows really good resolve. So our leader currently, this man has not put a foot wrong. Done everything well, done everything right. And just look at these onward shots. He is quick around here. Very, very quick. Got a 15-second gap, so Golfy's closed the gap to the flying Finn, Valtteri Raikkonen, but doesn't really look like it's going to be enough. He's just too quick. He might have just also backed off a bit, to rather bring it home. So Max Bombastic here, also just driving really well. He's keeping his position really nicely, being consistent, not doing anything stupid. McFlurry currently in 4th position. So your leader is going to get close. He's going through the last carousel now. He's going to get onto the dot in your hair pretty soon. 5th is Brian, the big tank slapper, manages to save it. 6 is Dens, ahead of Venture 26. 8th is David A. 9th is L. 10th is Jedi. 11th is Ian. 12th is Mr. Gurnell. 13th is Adams. Let's go back to the leader now on the dot in your hair. This man has driven an exceptional race. Beautiful shots of the castle in the background there. And I'm just going to leave everything off for now. It's just so gorgeous to see these cars racing around here. Let's not forget that they are actually racing the 24-hour Nürburgring 24-hour this weekend. And beautiful shot of the Bilstein flag there, which I will be using in my BM project. I'm a huge fan of Bilstein shock absorbers. I've used them in my Polo. Oh, Finn getting it a bit loose there. So beautiful shots there, well done sir, excellent job. The Finn winning this race, exceptional drive, really stellar drive there. So Golf Nut in 2nd, not far behind the Finn, and also really exceptional drive there from Golfy. Beautiful shot and beautiful finish with almost 0 fuel left. So Mr. Bombastic still on the dot in your hair. Yeah, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Also has next to no fuel left. Getting it a bit loose there, but great driving. So bringing the car home, Max Bombastic in 3rd place. Well done sir, great drive, crosses the line in 3rd. 4th is Mr. McFlurry now. I've put in quite a big buffer for the finish time. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Some of the guys are quite far down the lap. So Mr. McFlurry bringing the car home in 4th place. 5th place is Mr. Reed. Doing a great job here. Got next to no fuel left in the tank. He's driven well. He's stayed out of trouble, flashing his lights. Very well done, sir. 5th place for the veteran. 6 is Dens. Now Dens is fighting for the 2nd in the championship here. He has next to no fuel left, but he's got a nice 3-second gap lead on Venture 26. So he will go up in 2nd in the championship and finishes 6th. 7th is Venture 26. 8th is David A, still on the dot in your hair. Flat out driving like an absolute lunatic. Not sure if, he has very low fuel, so he's going to push hard to make it home. Oh, and he spins it, but luckily he's got a massive gap. Oh, he's really setting those tires on fire. Will he make it back with the fuel that he has on board? I'm not sure. Let's see. Perhaps it runs out over the line. You'll have to push it. Well done. David A brings it home in 8th place. Currently 9th is your man Al. Also driven a good race. And there are the results. We just ran out of time. So brilliant racing from everyone. That was a long race, but this man did everything right. The Flying Finn, Valtteri Raikkonen, exceptional driving, and well done. So that's going to be it from our side. Thank you everybody for joining us. We're not going to do interviews tonight. It was a bit of a long evening, so we're just going to call it at that. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us and tuning in. Next weekend, where are we racing next weekend? That's a good question. Let's have a look. I'll have to find it here. It's round 8 of the championship. Red Bull Ring, the short circuit. Wow. Also an exceptional circuit. So Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great, fantastic evening's racing. We've had some spectacular dives, some spectacular dices, and spectacular endurance race. Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good evening. We'll see you guys next time.